Hi guys, I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. I just wanted to do a little video expanding on a post that I made on my Instagram and Facebook page earlier this week about setting boundaries. Let me ask you this, are you a people pleaser? Do you have a hard time saying the word no? Do you feel bad to let other people down and often sacrifice your own happiness for that cause? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then I think that you'll like this video. You know, I've always knew about boundaries, but I never actually started implementing them until like literally last week. I, had kind of mentioned that I didn't have the best Christmas in the world. It all started when I let two people come into my home and dictate what times they wanted to come into my house. And, you know, I basically allowed this chaos into my home on one of the most special days of the year, and I have no one to blame but myself. So, that morning I had person number one say, hey, I'll be over at 10 a.m. And that's like the first red flag. I should have been like, obviously that time was not good for me. And instead of saying yes or, whatever, I should have said no, you can come over earlier, or you can come over at 7 p.m., 12 p.m., any other time that was better for me. But I didn't put my foot down, so I was like, yeah, sure. And then person number two, who I had made plans with a few days prior, was also due to come over around the same time to spend Christmas morning with us. And so basically I called this person up, person number two, and I was like, hey, can you please just come around, noon? So the two times wouldn't collide. And this person was basically like, no. And they said, you shouldn't let person number one, you shouldn't schedule your Christmas around person number one. Yeah, little did they know they're doing the same exact thing. They were trying to tell me when they were gonna come to my house. And silly old me, Sia with zero boundaries, said, okay, I guess that's all right. Come on over. And so the ending was basically a disaster. And at the end of my Christmas, I basically felt like I just let people walk all over me. And it was the worst feeling. And the day after Christmas, I went to Mississippi to see my family and had 3 hours there to drive and just think, and then I had 3 hours to kind of, drive back and think. And the whole time I was just like, how did I let this happen in my own home? Like on Christmas Day. And I love these people very much, and I know that they meant well. And during the holiday season, I see a trend of people, who came to me after my post saying, yeah, my Christmas ended up, turning out exactly like yours, or I let so-and-so walk over me today. It just seems like a big trend for the holiday season. I don't know why. I guess it's when a lot of family and friends get together, but this is something to really not just remember during the holidays, but every aspect of your life. And I don't know if it was because it was a new moon that day, like it's a crazy coincidence, but I put my foot down and I said, Sia, this is not gonna happen again. You need boundaries in your life. You do not have to let people dictate what they're gonna do in your home or any other aspects of my life. I think it's a good idea to have boundaries with your spouse, your ex-spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, uncle, aunt, best friend, kids, and your coworkers. I mean, you need boundaries with everyone. And it's also not a bad idea to have boundaries with yourself. What boundaries teaches us is that it teaches us not to be a doormat. It teaches us what we will and won't accept into our lives. I think that setting boundaries also helps to determine a level of happiness in your own life. The power of saying no is so therapeutic, but so many of us will not say no because we are willing to sacrifice our own happiness to make others feel comfortable. And no, sister, you do not have to sacrifice your own happiness because this is your life. You get one shot to live this one life, and you make the rules in your life, in your house, in your car, the way you parent. This is you. And I remember going to therapy when I was married, and my therapist is like, hey, boundaries are also a good idea in your marriage. Because when I was married to Grady, we didn't have boundaries. And a lot of the times, basically, he was my husband and my, employee, and there were just no clear boundaries. And, I would sometimes just walk, literally step over him like he was a doormat. And, you know, I've had all this time being separated to think about that. And I was like, wow, you know, he didn't set boundaries for us. I didn't set boundaries for us. And, you know, that was horrible of me. But the thing is, I didn't really know, you know, a lot of the times what I was doing wrong because he didn't put his foot down. And, you know, looking back in hindsight, I'm like, man, you know, I wish that, you know, I would have treated him better. I wish that there would have been more clear boundaries, not just for myself, but for him too. See, setting boundaries can also benefit our loved ones in so many ways and help to improve a marriage. It can help to improve a friendship or a family relationship. Boundaries are good to have. And the reason why people walk all over you, the reason why they take advantage of you is because, sister, you let them. A lot of the times these people mean no harm. These people don't go out of their way just to walk all over you. It's because they don't realize they are doing something you don't want. Because you're basically, by not setting any boundaries, you're giving them permission to walk on you, to walk right all over you. You're giving them that permission. And the only way that they're going to learn that it's not okay is by you putting your foot down and you setting some boundaries right here, right now. So go grab a pen and paper, and I want you to write down what you will tolerate in your marriage, in your co-parenting, and, you know, just motherhood, friendship, work, anything that you can think of. Like, if you're unhappy, it is up to you to change this. And, you know, the last few months of divorce have taught me so much, and it's allowed me to grow and to mature in ways that I didn't even know that I needed. I love to be able to share this wisdom with you guys. I think that a lot of us do put ourselves on the back burner for a variety of reasons, especially if you're a mom or a wife. You know, you come home or you're tired at the end of the day and you just bend and break to everyone's request and will. And sister, it's time to set some boundaries. You got to do it. You got to do it for your sanity. Because at the end of the day, a happy mom, happy wife equals a happy home. So I hope that you all just figure out some boundaries that you need to set. I hope this video and this little pep talk kind of helps you out. Again, people will take advantage of you if you let them. So stop letting them and create healthy boundaries. I hope y'all have a great week.